The Kienzan, or Destructo Disc from the English dub, is a move introduced to us by Krillin during the Saiyan saga of Dragon Ball Z. And if I might be so bold, the Kienzan is a pretty freaking hella lit move, bro. And despite the high prevalence of regenerative enemies and a power gap wider than your mom in later Dragon Ball, the Kienzan proved to have specifically great utility in early arcs. Why? I'm so glad you asked. Reason number 1, enemies couldn't regenerate back then. It's true. Enemies prior to Cell really couldn't regenerate. Even Frieza maintained battle damage throughout the fight. Reason number 2, enemies couldn't sense energy without the use of a scouter. Seriously, this was part of the reason why power levels were used during these early arcs. Bad guys kept relying on their scouters and paid for it dearly. However, and this is the reason I wanted to make this video, the Kienzan, when used in tandem with the underappreciated defensive move Solar Flare, a move which when used blinds its intended target, is pretty much an insta-win scenario. And as an angry anime fan, I refuse to acknowledge nor accept the fact that it would inarguably and objectively make the fights boring and story significantly worse, because I need my stupid cartoons to make unrelenting sense and to never take artistic liberty. Who needs Super Saiyan Goku transforming for the first time against Frieza when Krillin can just flash and slice him in the opening of the fight, thus making the entire arc pointless? With that said, let's take a look at 5 instances where Krillin should have used the Kienzan, beginning with some minor misses and building up to a huge missed opportunity. Number 5, Krillin and the Androids. Uh-oh. Yep, that right there marked the end of the Kienzan's usefulness during Dragon Ball, by and large. The Kienzan just didn't cut it anymore. The gap in power must have been too great, or some other arbitrary power scaling reason I'm certain I'm not aware of, because Lord knows the power gap between Perfect Cell and little old Krillin must be enormous. However, despite this brutal end to a fantastic move, we have the entire first half of Dragon Ball Z to work with, and our first goofed Krillin moment comes during the Android saga. Having just woken up, androids 16, 17, and 18 find themselves up against the Z Warriors. And Vegeta. Not sure if he's one of the boys at this stage of the story yet. Either way, Vegeta ends up getting brutalized by Android 18 single-handedly until Vegeta is... no-handed. I'll stop. Android 17 jumps into the fray once the others realize Vegeta is in danger. The final result of this scuffle is the utter decimation of the Earth's defenses. Well, except for Krillin, who didn't decide to jump in at any point to help. Ignoring any openings there might have been while the fighting was taking place for the Kienzan to hit its mark, there's still an instance where all 3 androids are walking away from Krillin with their backs turned. It's already established neither 17 nor 18 can sense energy, and Android 16 only cares about Goku at this point. If you ask me, that's a huge missed opportunity for Krillin. Number 4, Krillin and the Saiyan Saga. Okay, here's the rundown. Krillin just unveiled to us that he's in fact capable of throwing an impossibly sharp laser disc from his palm that can in fact cut Nappa in twain. Which means if applied the right way, he could quite literally have saved all of the warriors Nappa was threatening to kill and has killed. Where, you ask? How about here? Only instead of landing one strike on Nappa, he uses that damn solar flare. That'd blind Nappa and Vegeta. Bing bang boom, Nappa is done. And if I'm being serious, he probably could have taken out Vegeta here too, given how various enemies have reacted to the solar flare. But whatever, it's a close call. Next one, not so much. Number 3, Krillin and Doria. As you've probably seen so far, much of, if not all of the entries on this list depend on the target not being able to sense key energy. In the early Namek saga, Gohan and Krillin, being the first ones from Earth to arrive on Namek, encounter Frieza and his goons, Zarbon and Doria, slaughtering a Namekian village. They save Dende from the ensuing chaos, and in their attempted flee, Gohan and Krillin are pursued by Doria. However, through what might appear as quick thinking, Krillin manages to blind Doria using the solar flare, allowing Gohan, Dende, and himself to escape unharmed. Krillin did think quick, but when you have like 5 moves in your repertoire, surely slicing Doria in half could never have been easier than right here. I mean, he could have saved Vegeta a lot of work killing Doria, but then how would Vegeta learn of his home planet's demise, huh? Nah, I want confusing and lacking motivation in lieu of specific and uninteresting fight choreography. I demand it as an angry anime fan. Number 2, Krillin and Goku. Technically, Krillin never fought Goku here, but he did intervene at the last second with Gohan when Goku himself was about to finish off Vegeta. Instead of using the Kienzan, Krillin decides to dash into harm's way to kick Goku's mouth shut. I mean, surely staying a safe distance back and firing a jagged laser disc eliminating Goku from the equation entirely would have been the safest and most efficient option. But then how could Goku have come in to save the day? I guess, I don't know. Next! Number 1. Krillin and Frieza. Krillin, after being almost killed by Frieza's, horn antler, is healed by Dende off-screen and comes to surprise Frieza with a well-timed Kienzan. Though Frieza dodges it, he does manage to cut off his tail in the process, confirming that he can be badly damaged if caught off guard by a Kienzan. But that isn't where this ends. Frieza gives chase to Krillin, who ultimately blinds him with a solar flare. And what does he do? He runs away back to the others to regroup. He could have killed Frieza there and then, which, yeah, means no Super Saiyan, but also no one needs to die. Who knows? Maybe Goku got the heart virus from those filthy Ardrats. The heart virus doesn't exist prior to his trip there, and, at least in the world of Dragon Ball, Goku seems to be the first to succumb to its effects. I don't know. I guess what I'm saying is Krillin indirectly gave Goku the heart virus. But those are my top 5 moments. If you can think of more, leave them down below. Subscribe for more videos like this and check out my other stuff. I think it's pretty good. Have a wonderful day and thank you so much for watching.